Hey guys, it's Targon back doing another Raid Shadow Legends video. It's been a little while since my last video, but I am here today because I finally got the time in where I could create the new Clan Boss team for my alt account. I actually ended up changing some of the names around on my account, so this is my secondary account actually. So we ended up adding an extra clan to our clan family, so I was like shifting the accounts around a little bit. So had that going on, but we're back now and ready to go with some more tutorials. So today I want to show you my clan boss composition featuring Helicath, which was the latest fusion champion. Amazing clan boss champion. I love he's sort of it's really interesting. So typically in an unkillable composition, you need multiple people doing either block damage or unkillable. But with Helicath, because he provides such huge shields, the way you can get by with just him is you do his block damage to block both AoE attacks, and then you use his shield to soak up the stun punch, and then you use a cleanser to cleanse it off. So I'm going to show you the comp, and it's actually perfect because we're going against Magic Affinity Clan Boss today, and so that's the weak affinity for Helicath, but that means that the clan boss is going to be targeting him, and he's got so much defense, and I haven't even fully leveled him up yet. So let me show you here. I did a couple of runs on it with his masteries, so we're working on it. I should probably actually go ahead and put those on, but so unmastered. I'll show you what he can do unmastered, just so you can see. I haven't even finished leveling up his gear. I leveled it up quite a bit, and then I started running low on silver, so I'm just leaving it as this. All right, but so here's his stats: 30k HP. Ideally, want to get more defense, but I can get that by finishing some of the levels. Speed is the big one. So in order for him to go at the proper rate so that he's taking 2 turns in between one of the clan boss's turns, you need to have some pretty significant speed on him. So 254, I think you can get by with a little less. I am copying, for the most part, I did tweak a few things, but I'm copying the builds listed by Deadwood Jedi. Which highly recommend. Look at his guide and read it, because I ran into some trouble because I started to build it and it wasn't quite working right, and rather than stopping and really thinking that there was a problem with what I was doing on my end, I assumed that maybe the calculator wasn't working quite right, but I was wrong. I'll show you why. But the speeds that I'm going to give you, they're not exact to that composition, but they work. So 254 speed. I do want to get his accuracy and his crit rate up, but the speed is the most important thing, honestly, because you need to have the block damage for both AoEs so that it protects your team, and then he's taking the stun, so as much defense as you can get on him. Might be able to, I haven't even enchanted most of this gear, so I might be able to get his accuracy up. Unfortunately, crit rate, probably not as much I can do about it, but you know what, it's okay, because really he's in there to protect my team. So for this composition, I'm using Ninja, and Ninja was actually the piece that was getting me out of sync because I didn't bother to stop and read the instructions of you have to open with his A3 first instead of the A2, because his A1 fills his turn meter by 15%, which it affects the other people as well. So what was happening was his turn meter was getting filled at the wrong time, and it caused one of the other champions to skip ahead in the rotation. So anyways, I figured it out, so it works well. So I'm using him. So here's his stats. I actually ended up making him a little bit weaker from what I had him originally, just because I had to bring his speed down. Don't need this much accuracy for clan boss, but this is good. You do need to have him, I think, at like 174 would be the top, and probably like 172 or 173, I think they were saying, was like the lowest you can go. So it's got to be fairly specific. I've got him with defense because I'm using him in other content as well. So for a boss beater like Ninja, it's good to have, you know, defensive stats. Obviously for this, he's not getting hit, so the defensive stats are kind of a waste, but I like versatility. And let's see, I'm using Razin. And I have him running at 176. And then here's, you know, health, defense. His attacks scale from defense, so you don't need attack. Crit rate 100%, accuracy 270. I don't think I even have him. I haven't finished booking him here yet, so I'm gonna have to throw some books into him because he's not landing this as often. So again, this is my alt account, so not as much as many resources. I haven't finished with his masteries yet either. Still working on his. Ninja I have at tier 6. The other tier 6 champion that I have here is... Where's Brawler? There he is. Why did I not see him? He was invisible for a second. So I got him with War Master. And then, oh, who else was there? Who was my other champion? There's one more. Razin, Ninja, Brawler, Doom Priest, right. Need Doom Priest. I had to re-gear her as well. I've got her rolling at 189 speed, so she's going right after the clan boss, so she's cleansing off the stun. Really, really important. You either, for this to work, you need to have either a debuff blocker or a cleanser. So Doom Priest's passive is perfect, makes it very affinity friendly, because that way I don't have to worry about the debuff blocker putting the block debuffs off too soon, and then Helicath doing his double turn, and then having multiple debuffs on. So having Doom Priest, she just cleanses off one debuff each round, and she's going first each round. So so she's kind of the perfect fit here. No masteries on her either, really, to speak of. So most of this team, I'm still working on the masteries. I'm still in the process of re-gearing, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. So we're going to go down to UNM. All right, so I'm using Helicath as the lead, which is great because he has this 30% increased defense in all battles. Because it's magic affinity and because Occult Brawler has higher health, the clan boss is going to be targeting Helicath, and basically Doom Priest is going to be able to heal him up to full health between all the stuns. So everybody's got block damage up for both AoEs. The only damage coming in is the stun, but because of his giant shields that he's putting up here, I'm able to absorb the stun with just the shields. And one thing, so I'm not sure how it will work if you fully book this skill. I was fortunate enough to get this skill fully booked without booking this. So both are on a 4-turn cooldown. I'm not sure how it would work if there's a 3-turn. If that'll kind of flip-flop. I think it might work fine, actually, because this has him going twice at the end, but I think it depends on how the AI works. But so if you're just using him for clan boss, see if you can get not put all the books in this. That way you can just sort of stagger it. So he's doing block damage, A1, then the shields is how I'm running it. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to get into this run. And it is not full auto quite yet. So you go ahead and you open with the block damage. Blocks for everybody. And he counterattacks whenever somebody's attacked under block damage. Go ahead and do this. See if I can get the Decrease defense and weaken. All right, so for ninja, again, because you need the timing for this, for whatever, you open with this skill. And have him just go ahead and do that. And so now I hit with the A1, and now we're on auto. So there's Doom Priest cleansing. There the shields go up. And see, obviously this is the first round, so it's not as much damage, but the shield absorbed everything. And now block damage is back up. And so because Brawler is an HP-based champion, it's easy to build him with more health, and that way the clan boss targets champions based on their health and based on affinity. So even though they're both weak affinity here, he's targeting Helicath because Helicath has less health, but it's actually good because he's got so much more defense he doesn't take the damage. If he was targeting Brawler pretty soon, Brawler would start getting worn down here. But one of the I don't know if it'll necessarily get there with this run. I made it to turn 48 before Helicath finally went down from the stun, which is basically for unkillable you're only going 50 rounds anyways, and then he's ignoring it. So this can go on really long, and so because Doom Priest is cleansing it off, just having Helicath in here, it is essentially an unkillable composition. And I'm sure that once I get his gear fully maxed out and throw some masteries on him, he's going to be able to last all 50 rounds and maybe even go a few more. So we'll see how long he can go. Of course, the block damage won't be working on the AoEs after 50, so probably 50, 51, maybe 52. We'll see. And then the great thing is with having someone like, say, Razin as a DPS champion here is because his attacks scale from defense. Helicath's got this passive, so every time his block damage goes off of somebody, it replaces it with increased defense. Also, he's got the increased defense aura, so if you have some good damage dealing defense champions, really worth looking at bringing them in. If you had like a counterattack, although with Ninja you wouldn't want a counterattack. But like if you're not using Ninja, you could go with someone like a Martyr with Valkyrie, someone else throwing counterattack in, and they're both defense based. Iron Brago would be a really interesting champion to use because he also increases everybody else's defense. So it's just there's a lot of things that you can do with this comp. It's got so much potential. And so I'm really interested to see how much damage I can do once I get all the masteries on. This might actually be able to outscore the budget unkillable team that I have on my original account. So we'll see how it goes. But so right now, turn 18, I'm basically doing 500k per round. That will go up substantially once everybody's got their masteries on them. And both Helicath and Brawler are getting weak hits too, which is bringing the damage down. Now, one potential challenge that you're going to want to pay attention to is as the affinity switches, he's going to target somebody else. So if he was Force Affinity, for example, he'd be targeting Ninja with the stun. So that would potentially cause issues because Ninja's not going to be able to take that as long unless I really, kind of book him up more on defense. For Spirit Affinity, it'd be great because Razin can take it. One thing you could potentially even look at doing is bringing in someone like Scylla the Drakes for Force Affinity because she's a defense-based champion and she's got her own little passive heal as well. She doesn't really bring a whole lot to the clan boss fight other than just she's a tank for the stun. another option is, if you're using force, if you're going against Force Affinity, Ninja isn't necessarily going to deal as much damage, so then you just take him out and use someone like Razin to be the stun target. So really, that'd kind of be the only concern I had. Like if I was doing Spirit Affinity, I would probably use this exact same team because Razin is built well enough. He should be fine with the shields to be able to take the stun. For Force Affinity, it'd be a little different. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and then come back towards the end, and we'll see how far we've gotten. All right, so it was around turn 30 or so that the clan boss actually started getting through the shields. But you're going to see, like, as Doom Priest gets her turns, his health bar is going to come back to pretty much go full. Because we got a couple heals coming up here. And we're at turn 40. So at turn 40, clan boss is hitting pretty hard here. So, this just sort of shows the kind of resiliency that he can have, just based on how much defense he has. And again, I haven't put like his gear's not all maxed out. He's only level 44. He's 6 stars, but he's only 44. So you might even be able to do this without taking him to 6 stars. Probably wouldn't get as far along, but certainly could do fairly well if you were so inclined. But I mean, we're at turn 43, and Clan Boss is gonna wipe the team out come turn 50. But I don't think. We'll see. The next stun might take him out. I don't know. We'll see. And again, if I had Life Drinker on him, he'd be healing that much more. So, between that and Doom Priest, it'll keep him going for a good while. All right, the moment of truth. Can he make it to round 50? Yes, barely. Okay. Great. So this is a solid run. Going to get to around 27 million again, which is 3 key for Ultra Nightmare. I haven't tried this comp out on Nightmare, so I'll probably give that a shot later tonight. But there we go. Block damage failed, but 27 million. And so really this is just, I mean, these are 2 epic champs. If you don't have Ninja, obviously Ninja does increase the damage quite a bit, but I mean, Brawler's weak affinity here, and he's almost doing the same as Ninja, so you could maybe go with a second one of him. If you're able to get Dark Kale, would probably be a really good option if you're using Brawler as well. Razin is great for putting the drop defense and weaken, though. If you can get the accuracy up there for Helicath for doing the weaken, bring somebody else in with drop defense, then you're good. You wouldn't necessarily need someone like Razin, but his accuracy, I couldn't get his accuracy quite high enough to where he would be landing it, and he's weak affinity, so I figured I'd just go ahead and bring Razin in. Doom Priest is really just there for the cleanse, so she's not supposed to do damage. It's really just these two doing their thing, and Helicath keeping everybody alive. So when you look at the damage, it's like, oh gee, he doesn't do much damage. He's not supposed to do damage, guys. He's supposed to. He is supposed to protect everybody. Though with the counterattack that he does every time someone under block damage gets hit, once I get War Master on him, he's going to be doing quite a bit of damage because that's a lot of extra turns there. Razin, likewise, his damage will probably double once I get Giant Slayer on him. So I'm really interested to see how, once I get all the masteries and everything going, how well this will work. So anyway, so that's the team. Let me just kind of go into team setup and go over the speeds again real quick. So again, Helicath has 254 speed. That's the highest speed. I know that seems kind of ridiculous, but honestly, this is easier than a budget unkillable because everybody else is under 200. So this is the one that's really hard to get to. After that, it's not so bad. You know, Brawler's at 173, Ninja's at 174. He has to be faster than the slowest. Can't be higher than 174 though, I don't think. And I think Brawler can't be slower than like 172. So, and then Doom Priest, I got her at 189. I think in the original it was calling for 186, so you could get by with that. I ended up speeding her up because when Ninja was using his stuff out of order, Helicath would actually jump ahead of Doom Priest sometimes after the stun. So I thought, oh, I got to speed up Doom Priest, but I don't think I needed to do that. But this speed works. And then just Razin at 176. So really this is not that speed intensive outside of that one champion. So you just go, you throw the best gear you can on him, and honestly, like I didn't even use speed sets on him because I was able to get enough in substats based on just using the 6-star gear from the Forge. I'll just show you what I have on him. You don't need to use these sets. It's but I just used one perception set and then 2 of these resiliency sets. So that's not adding a ton of speed from the sets. It's just I got fortunate with having, you know, 6 stars with a speed roll, 6 stars with a speed roll, 6 stars with a double speed roll, and this is another double speed roll. So there's a couple ways you can do it. So if you don't have gear that gets the double speed rolls, you can always, you know, throw a few extra speed sets on or something. But so, you know, 254, it's a little tough to get to, but you can do it. And again, you don't necessarily need this much defense. It's very helpful. Obviously, if his defense was lower, he would have dropped sooner in that fight. But, you know, even if he goes to, say, round 35 or 39 or wherever, that's still really good if you don't have another unkillable option. You know, getting to 40 rounds is good. And you can, you know, let your team do the damage. So you know, if you can't get the defense and you need to just go all focus on speed just to get him at the right speed, do it. And then as you're collecting the rewards from Ultra Nightmare, then you're going to get better gear, and then you can put the better gear on him, and you just have to re-gear him after that. So anyways, hope this was informative. Hope all you guys who've got this champion are using him. I really like this. It's so much easier than like a budget unkillable comp because it's just a few clicks and boom, done. I don't need to worry about it. He's going. He does his thing. His shield is enough to tank it all. You know, a budget unkillable, you're using Painkeeper to like refresh the cooldowns, which is fine. But Painkeeper doesn't really bring much else to the fight other than the cooldown. So in this situation, it's kind of the same thing. I'm just using Doom Priest to clean off the stun to make sure he's okay. And honestly, if the stun target was somebody else, you might not necessarily need the cleanse, though you'd want one for like if it's Spirit Affinity or something like that. I may try build. I'm in the process of building Warcaster because he's also got this block damage, so there is a way to build it where you have Helicath block in like the first 2, and then Warcaster comes in and blocks the stun damage. But I don't know if I might not, because this works perfectly fine, and you know, I'd be better off just in his space putting in someone who does more damage. So because you're still going to need someone to cleanse off the debuffs. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll catch you next time.